Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the Galaxy Mob Airgeneral figure. Now, this is a review sample that Shozi Store sent out for me to take a look at, and I don't really have any other figures in this era or from this era, but now I'm starting to think I might pick a few more up because this is a pretty cool looking figure. It's pretty interesting. It is just more or less a reissue of their last one, which was a reissue of the Hasbro one from back in the day. So these are generally more or less KOs of the actual figure. But I don't have the original figure, so I can't tell you any differences about it. But I can tell you that this is a pretty well-made figure. It looks pretty good. Transformation is pretty straightforward and simple. And so it's kind of refreshing to do a review on a figure like this. But anyway, I'm going to have a link down below where you can get yours. Let's take a look at Galaxy Mob Airgeneral from Shozi Store. Coming up. Alright, here is the box. It says Galaxy Mob Airgeneral. He is the Airgeneral, and well, I guess that's the back. This is the front. Still, it's okay, interesting packaging. I do not believe this at all matches the original, which is not what they're going for. They're not trying to match original packaging, and there it is, no window. Alright, here he is in his alt mode. He's packaged in his alt mode, and it looks like you can just fit all his weapons and accessories on him. Not really sure if this is how it looked in the show or not, but this is something that can be done, you can do. And it looks really sleek. It's got that nice silver finish to it. It's got a bit of a sheen to it. And it's a sleek, cool looking figure. All the lines tab together really well, so it's not gappy, as if, except for where I believe it's intentionally made to look like there's a gap right here, because that's how it was in the show. And it's pretty clean on the bottom. You do see a bit of the bot to it, but not bad at all for a really old toy. And just a reissue of an old Vehicon figure. Now, I've always kind of thought these Vehicons were a little bit interesting and how they looked, but this Air one actually is a lot cooler than the car mode one with the wings and all that. But I did kind of think, for whatever reason, because I never handled this before, but just from the pictures, I thought you could fold up the wings underneath, but you can't really. You could kind of get a little bit of a different angle on it if you wanted to, for whatever reason. But you can't fold them underneath to make it look like it's a car. It is purely a jet no matter what. But that's fine with me. It's interesting alt mode, looking pretty cool. And like the front end's got a lot of interesting stuff going on with it. And the wings right there. And then now we can pop all these out. And this is what it looks like with nothing on it. And I believe the show shows it with none of those weapons on it. But they've got the holes and ports available for you to actually plug all those weapons and accessories in, so why not? And it seems like it'd be kind of cool. Tapping into my son's collection for the mainline stuff. I don't have much mainline stuff, but here it is compared to the Cup from Studio Series and a Studio Series RC. That is looking kind of bright there, but that's the size comparison. So it fits right in with today's basic stuff that we're going on, and it looks pretty good with them. It is a mainline size, kind of a deluxe size figure. That's how it looks. With Masterpiece, much big difference. I'm more used to the Masterpiece scaling of things, but it fits in with kind of the deluxe Hasbro scale. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this into its bot mode. We can kind of fold this stuff here up. And that's about how that goes. Fold it all the way around. Then we need to get this folded out a little bit more. We are going to pull these out and get the arms out of here. And they're going to go kind of up on a joint there. Then we're going to fold, we're going to roll this out and then unhinge it kind of in a round shape like that. So it kind of rounds itself into it like so. So you just there's 1, 2, 3, looks like 3 hinges in there. Then we fold the hand out and we sort of got one shoulder done as I go off camera. So we're going to do the same thing. We're kind of untabbing it and hinging it up like so. And then we're going to roll this out. So this folds out like this. And there's a ball joint there too. So the ball joint's part of it, which kind of makes it feel a little bit weird the way that works. And then we're going to untab all of this and then split it on all these tabs right here. So tab, 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 tab. And we are going to fold this in, this in. This is going to come down. And this. Go do the same thing with the other leg. Fold this in, fold this into here, fold this down, and create the foot. And then working on the top here, we're going to pull this out and back for the most part. And that brings the head out. I believe that's about it. I'm going to go double check this with... Oh, stand up, dude. I'm sure he stands better than that. I'm going to go ahead and double check this with the pictures online just to make sure. I mean, because I don't know a lot about this character. So to make sure I have everything positioned correctly and all that before we go forward. But this, according to the instructions, that's pretty much all there is to it. It's a mainline figure. There's not a lot of steps to it. But to make sure that everything I got in place. And then I'll be right back. Alright, here he is in his bot mode. And in checking with Shozi pictures, I do notice a couple of interesting things. First of all, their poses do tend to lean forward also a bit. Meaning he is back heavy with these giant wings. And then there's holes here for those tiny guns, which I believe also double as guns that would go on the car Vehicon. But yeah, this is him in his alt mode. And yeah, it's very interesting looking bot. Much different than what I'm used to checking out and reviewing on the channel and what I'm used to seeing. But it is definitely an interesting look to the bot. And this is how it should look. The transformation actually surprisingly simple, and I remember this era being a little bit strange with the transformations, but it looks pretty cool. It comes with these two guns right here, and they also include something to go over his chest. We'll do that here in just a bit, but his guns also have these tabs in here. It looks like it would clip into something. Haven't quite figured out what that clips into or how that clips in. But that would be kind of cool and interesting to see if it clips on a little bit different with those clips there. But cool looking figure. Let's get in on his head sculpt. And is it focusing on that head sculpt? Kind of hard to see that head sculpt, but it still looks interesting for a head sculpt. And it just kind of looks like an evil drone, heartless drone that's going on right there. And then he's got a symbol on there. I mean, it almost looks like an Autobot symbol. You know he's not an Autobot, but he's an evil Vehicon? No, he's a silver Vehicon. Maybe there's more to the story. Maybe the silver one is a good guy. I doubt that, though. But let's get into putting this other accessory on him. Either they're saving money at the factory, or, I mean, that might be what's going on, or this is just to keep it from damaging, but this is separately in a bag to put on his chest. And that does look a little cooler once he's got that clear. I'm a sucker for a clear piece of plastic on a figure and then some detail underneath. It just adds kind of a depth to the figure and coolness to it. And so I do like that. That is something that I think is pretty cool overall. But that popped off. Wish I would have noticed that in alt mode and been able to show this in alt mode. But it plugs in right there for an extra gun storage, or just to make it look a little bit cooler, a little bit more from the era. Now for articulation, the head side to side, and maybe we're going to get a little bit more better view of that noggin. There it goes. All right, it goes articulation. You can take this up all the way, and I knew that was going to pop off, and it can go up to like there, because of all the joints he has going on his arm. probably for transformation, but it's interesting. Okay, you have the swivel there, and then you've got all this kind of stuff. So he can literally just do a lot with this because there's so many joints in there. Like he's got a triple jointed bicep swivel is basically what it is. But it works as his elbow and all that at the same time. So you could bring it in like so. So quite a bit going on in there. And his hand doesn't do anything but the up and down. But the up and down actually works really well. It actually is quite an advantage with this. No A swivel because that's just not what they did back then. And then we got the hip only goes out to there, forward, back, all the way back. And then you do, of course, on that kind of a universal joint, it's a ball joint. And then knee is like not even 45, but right, a 45 degree angle. And then it goes back a bit because it's transformation. And then the foot, it's just up and down. So it's dated transformation. It is old design, but it still is interesting. If you've never handled it before, the articulation is just so much different for this figure than kind of anything I've really ever handled before. Also included in this are two little mechanical studio bots. One's got red eyes, one's got blue eyes. It's just got a giant mouth on it. The mouth is articulated. As you can see, you can get the teeth tighter in there, and the eyes are articulated. And then it spins around on two different axes. Well, two different things spinning around here, his legs and his arms. So interesting little bots, just an inclusion. Not sure if they were in the show so much, but it's a thing that they included for free, so why not? Alrighty then, here he is next to a couple of mainline stuff that I have. This is the most modern interpretation. Actually, it's my son's modern interpretation of Perceptor, and then been whipping out my G1 Megatron lately. I'm not ashamed to say it, but just he's getting some love. But we really need to get more G1 Megatrons out there. But this size and scale, so he is a pretty good sized bot. I mean, in my mind, he's deluxe scaled, but he's with all the extra stuff and kibble and stuff he's got going on there, makes him look pretty big. I think this was sold as a deluxe too, but you know, nowadays there's kind of that Ironhide is more or less a deluxe size, but they just charge him as a Voyager. And then this guy, I think he was a deluxe, but he might have been a Voyager. I don't really remember. Anyway, there is the size and scale, if that kind of helps. I don't have anything else from this era to compare it to. Sorry, but there it is, and yeah, looks pretty good. All right, this is my look at the APC Toys Galaxy Mob Airgeneral, and this is a toy from a different era that I don't really collect so much, but I think he looks pretty cool overall. And I do like the fact that the transformation really isn't all that complicated. It's not really all that hard, and the figure does look pretty cool. And the fact that the alt mode is really pretty clean. And I do believe that this era, they did really focus on the alt modes looking super clean. And it's got a couple of cool touches to it, especially the fact that he's got his weapons, and I like that clear piece on his chest. And not so sure how I feel about having to install it myself, but I did get this from Show Z. They did send it out for me to take a look at, and I appreciate it. If you could hit the TH in the reviewer code, Show Z will send me more stuff like this to take a look at. And I hope you enjoyed this review. And if you like this, go pick it up at showzstore.com. I have a link down below. Like and subscribe to Deer Hanger out.